January 16th, 2022. I'm just waking up and I'm checking the weather for today. And my outside looks January. It looks like this. There's little remnants over here and over here of the snow, brief snow that we had, but it hasn't had accumulation. There's been really no ice. That's been the New York way for quite some time. It we used to get incredible snow, and then it just tapered off and got warmer as I got older. They have this I Love New York campaign on TV with skiing. I haven't been able to ski. I used to love skiing. And I used to go up for the day to ski when I was a teenager. Of course, when Benjamin arrived, I was 20. I had no time. I had no money, and as soon as Benjamin arrived, it was like no money for anything. So there was no more skiing. So I have no idea about the mountains in New York and what they do as far as winter recreation. Haven't been able to ice skate. I took the kids ice skating once, but only because it was somebody's birthday party and they invited us and we all went. But that was the only time my kids have ever ice skated along with myself in my adulthood. There's no, there's, in order to be a human or in order to live or in order to survive in this society or this human arrangement, you have to have you have automatically a lot of expenses. Everybody has their hand out and wants money, but there's no automatic income source. So like the before you're even born or the day you're born, if you have a meter running, you're already in a negative, like, economic system prior to arrival, or the minute the arrival of you in some human form, you're already in a negative if you're living in New York in the 20th, 19th, the end of the 19th to the beginning of the 20th century. Which is really, really scary because how do you, if they cut off the income source, then how do you make your stretch or your whatever actually, like, work? That's been another struggle. This morning, they also have not just that, but on the news report, this is something I've noticed as well, is that he talks about shoveling.
Matt saying, no, 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 no. The past 2 mornings where we've hit 10, that's the coldest start in just 3 years. Remember 2019? It was so cold.
I don't even remember
but again,
this.
Small consolation on this day. So yesterday with the wind, it felt far worse than a high of 20. Today, we see a change. It's very cold right now, uncomfortable, gotta layer up, but it feels a little better this afternoon. That warming trend continues into your Monday. So it's quiet. You can get things done, you can plan, you can...
If I'm talking about my wiffle ball with holes in it that I carry with me in the center of it, and I try to plug up the holes and hold on to it as like my life frame almost, and another way of looking at it. I can't remember the weather back in 2019. My body machine connected to the outside machine does not carry statistical data or empirical data or visual data or even audio data for that length of motion in this time and space and the way this dimension is built.
And you can, tie things down. Get ready for the wind because we are waiting for this mess. Thunderstorms and thunder snow over the Cumberland Plateau and then into the Carolinas. Going to be just wicked in parts of Virginia and West Virginia. 81, Roanoke, Charlottesville, up into the Capital District. Oh, and it's going to be tough. Heavy rain pushes through parts of South Carolina, but they're also anticipating some icing through much of the Carolinas. The concern is going to be widespread power outages, and then we wait for this system to head our way. This low will ride up. The inland track brings in warm air, but this tightening low, that pressure gradient, will get the winds screaming. Millions under either a winter storm warning watch or advisory. And in our area, we are going to see some...
Now, my education level from the public school I went to is not really sufficient enough. Like, I hear the words the weatherman is speaking. I see he knows what he means. And I want to know what he means with low pressure and how does, like, because I don't know on my intercostal to, like, intercoastal pressure with barometrics. I have no idea. Is low pressure better? Is high pressure better? I just know I have trouble breathing. That's it. So watching this and his investment of trying to educate the public is wonderful, except the public receiving the message has no idea. They're not just born knowing that high pressure's better for the day, low pressure's better for the day, unless you have some kind of asthmatic and then they go to a special doctor that knows things. But I haven't even met anybody that knows that level of pressure systems and weather and are that in tune. I don't know anybody who's in tune with the weather at all my entire life. It's kind of like one of those background noise things that nobody pays attention to, or you watch and you just tune out. And I don't know why. That's part of the miswiring of the human in the environment in this area, in my opinion.
Some accumulating snow. But remember, there's going to be a changeover. We say trace to 1 for the city, but we lose it. It all goes to rain, heavy at times, and even the area north and west of the city through Rockland, Westchester. This will likely all change over to rain. It is going to be challenging, though, because you have to navigate first very slippery surfaces, and then it's puddles and that sideways rain with the wind. And then don't forget coastal concerns with the full moon and astronomically high tide and that pileup effect courtesy
Astronomically
of the wind.
high
But there will be some
tide.
snow north and west. It is World Snow Day to celebrate snow and the snow impact on businesses as far as...
Now, how does the, like, who decides these world days? Like, I mean, it's not on a calendar, because if I go and I show you the calendar that came in the federal, I mean, it's the United States Post Office that sends them, or they get mailed through. But it says this is confusing, Sons of Italy. And then if I look on the calendar, today's the 16th. Nope. No World Snow Day. But the teleporting meteorologist is saying it is so. Which, again, now is that a Channel 2 news thing? Who, I mean, I don't want to get him in trouble because I rather like the gentleman on being the one who's speaking about the weather. He seems to do a very good job in a slow and easy to digest manner, but it's just confusing. Where did the World Snow Day information come from? But also he has this thing with one of the other co-hosts, or whatever she is, one of the news ladies. One of the news ladies starts arguing with him about statistical data, and I'm like, well, that's so human. I mean, I hear people do that all the time. Like, what report is that from? Like, right, that's why there's, like, nothing ever gets done, because everybody has to have a voice and speak over one another. But here's a gentleman who likes to shovel, and he's going to tell a personal story about him liking to shovel. And then you have other people who either have been programmed to not like snow or not like shoveling, and then they secretly vote somehow and have turned things into, well, we like our New York weather where it's warmer. Not all of us, because it has bigger implications, and I don't know how this has been allowed to move in this direction. And in big symbolic gestures, what does it actually mean, and what was the trade-off, or what did they compromise in security of settings in order to accomplish this weather pattern change? That's what's really scary.
Or snow removal, snow management, and also snow recreation. But we're not going to see that much snow. We're going to see more rain than snow. This is a study that's about 8 years old now. But according to this study, 23% of us actually enjoy shoveling snow. So I don't know. Last time we had a snowstorm, we sold the house. We're in an apartment. I was so desperate to shovel. I just borrowed somebody's shovel because I missed shoveling snow. There's not going to be that much snow to shovel with this storm. I know you don't believe me, but we are concerned about wind and rain. It all kicks in after sunset tonight, and then buckle up. Going to be wild overnight into the first part of your Monday, and then that 42 on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's earlier in the day because there will be some cold air filling back in, so we could see a few flakes as it exits. Tuesday is another cold day, and then it's warm again Wednesday with a late chance.
Now listen to what the other woman says. Ready? This is what I hear.
All right, John,
Humans
first
do
of
a
all, I
lot.
have all the guys in my ear saying there's no way. No one likes snow shoveling.
23% of Americans like to shovel snow.
And that's according to who?
It is very gratifying. It's like mowing a lawn because when you turn around, you can see what you've done. When you're shoveling, I did that. I made the driveway return.
Okay. I trust you, John. Thank you. It is 8:18. Just because the temperatures feel icy doesn't mean it's safe to go out on the ice. The City Parks Department is reminding visitors.
It's this distrust that the teleportation production people have. They throw in this distrust of one another constantly, and then they almost by some quiet majority are over speaking one another as to speaking for everybody. That it's really frustrating when they do that, because I'm looking around and I've heard them do it my entire life while I've stayed absolutely silent because I know we're in the wrong position. And it's just watching the world deteriorate and not knowing how to get my own voice. I mean, they have a voice on this teleportation machine. They know people, they know networks, they know. And then there's the average person that's just been silenced by all of this networks and knowing things and speaking up about, and then all clumping together and pushing the wrong message. It's frustrating. And there's no one piece exactly that I can sit back. I mean, it's unbeknownst to me, I don't have like any kind of data to say which group it necessarily was, because there seems to be stacking and overlaying of how these messages are moving and catching on dangerously.
Visitors to never walk on bodies of water that appear frozen and keep a close eye on your children to avoid any potentially deadly accidents.
With dips and spikes in the temperature, our water bodies can freeze and thaw, causing them to appear frozen when they're not. Walking on the ice can be life-threatening, and we want all park goers to be safe.
Park officials say
That's the
if
first
you
time
are
I've
on
ever
ice and
seen
feel
that
cracking,
gentleman.
lay down immediately to try to distribute your weight. If you see someone falling,
They don't normally show him or display him on the teleportation device or on the news, in the rabbit ear stations, on the Verizon digital cable box for whatever package Lewis has since I've been here. So it is star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It is Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken.